Hi everyone, my name is Matthias Schneider. I'm a principal data analyst with SANT DataLink in Adelaide, Australia. And today I will present our work on the Secure Automated File Exchange, or SAFE, to enable more efficient transfers of sensitive data. Before we talk about SAFE, I would first like to introduce who SANT DataLink, for those of you who don't know us. As you can see on this slide, SANT DataLink is an organization formed by multiple partners in South Australia and the Northern Territory, ranging from universities to government agencies and research institutions. SANT DataLink is responsible for the linkage of health and human services datasets in South Australia and the Northern Territory, both for research and government policy analysis and evaluation. So why did we decide to work on a model for a secure automated file exchange? Well, with the explosion in data being collected and made available for analysis, linkage units receive an increasing amount of data, and at the same time, researchers also expect access to more current data. This increase in the influx of data can create resource constraints for linkage units, which need to mobilize more staff time for data transfer and processing. The same is true for data custodians who are required to provide data updates more frequently, obviously. One solution is to automate the data transfer with the aims of making data transfer safer, faster, and most importantly, more resource efficient. The solution SANT DataLink is considering is to develop a secure file transfer solution via Secure File Transfer Protocol, or SFTP, in collaboration with the University of South Australia, who administers SANT DataLink. As most of you would know, data linkage projects involve two distinct data types. Firstly, personally identifying data, illustrated in green in this diagram, and secondly, anonymized content data, highlighted in blue. Under the SAFE model, a given custodian uses one private key to send personally identifying data via SFTP, and this data then flows into the university's firewall and then directly onwards into a demilitarized zone, or DMZ, within SANT DataLink's data linkage unit, where it is manually transferred onto an air-gapped protected network. The same custodian uses a different private key to provide the corresponding encrypted anonymized content data, again via SFTP. And given the less sensitive nature of this data type, it is simply deposited on secure file storage at the university, from where it is manually transferred by staff of the SANT DataLink's data integration unit to our custodian controlled data repository. The main advantages of this approach are a relatively low cost. We could probably implement this for under 2,000 Australian dollars per year. Then SFTP is a standard technology, relatively easy to adopt by data providers. And thirdly, SANT DataLink and its host organization have full control over the process. The downsides are there is limited expertise at the university in the security aspects of automated data transfers of highly sensitive data. And the transfer would need to be partly managed and controlled by SANT DataLink staff, taking away resources from our core responsibilities. Although we believe that this approach via SFTP is very sensible, we want to keep an open mind and look beyond our host organization, the University of South Australia. And therefore, we are also evaluating alternative options. One possibility is to simply buy a commercial offering for secure automated data transfers, for example, secure managed file transfer services. The upside of this approach is that suppliers of these solutions have strong expertise in secure data transfers with specifically strong security accreditations. They're also technically easy to set up and integrate generally well with manual file transfer solutions. Apart from the significant cost of more than 20,000 Australian dollars per year, the main downside of this solution is that some risk-averse IT department of data providers may be reluctant to install third-party software in their environments. Another option is to piggyback on existing infrastructure and processes already used by data custodians, some of which have automated data transfer solutions. This obviously eliminates the implementation cost at the provider's end. However, for SND DataLink, this would mean that we would probably have to manage multiple data transfer technologies, given that data providers generally do not use the same data transfer tools. On the last slide, I would like to discuss the main learnings from our experience. Firstly, given the importance of our relationship with data custodians, whatever solution adopted at SND DataLink will be highly dependent on the requirements of our data providers, both from a technical but also from a data governance point of view. It is also important to remember that realistically the data workflow is currently not automatable in its entirety. Even if data lands in our environment automatically, it still needs to be quality reviewed and ingested into our system, which is mostly done manually at this stage. Moreover, not all research projects require highly up-to-date data, and not all providers are willing or able to provide near real-time data. And lastly, as with any investment, we also need to consider if the potentially high investment to automate the data transfer is really warranted. It is important to compare the upfront cost to implement this solution with the potential savings in time and resources required for manual data transfers. At this stage, at SND DataLink, we haven't made a final decision on the type of automated data transfer solution we will adopt. We are still considering the different options discussed in this talk, as well as their implications for our partners before we make a final call. Nevertheless, we wanted to share our thoughts in order for other organizations to potentially build on our learnings. And that brings us to the end of my presentation, and I would like to thank you all for your interest. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me either via the email and phone number on this slide or the conference tools. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the conference.